Have you guys ever heard of the saying or like the advice that people give called don't shit where you eat? And like the reason why people say that is because they don't want you to date people that you work with. Does that make sense? Don't shit where you eat. You're getting paid from your job. That's the main thing. And don't fuck around because you might lose your pay. I took that advice and I put it through one ear and then I shoved it out the other. But I didn't do that consciously, at least not in the beginning. So I used to work in retail. I used to work at this place called, I'm not sure if you guys heard of it. It's kind of like a small business, Adidas. And I used to be the retail guy. I used to be the cashier guy. I used to be the shoe guy. Basically anything out on the floor, I did, right? I wasn't the best at it, minimum wage, minimum effort. I did the bare minimum to not get fired. We used to have a list of who got as much money made, I guess, which is like, there was a system in place at the register where you would ask the customer, oh, did anybody help you with your like stuff today? And they would drop your name and you get like credit for that transaction. And then the managers would see who is like actively helping out the customers and doing a good job. Because if the customer said your name, that means you did a good job. Me, I was at the bottom, and not just at the bottom. Over a 2-year period, I stayed. Oh wait, no, I didn't even work there for 2 years. For however long I worked there, I stayed at a resounding $0. Zero, nada, ling, okay? 100% without the one. 00, baby. So here's the thing. I wasn't really doing anything. Like I was like in between jobs trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. So I was just kind of there. And then after like a little bit of time passed, I started getting close with the coworkers. I started, talking with them during my lunch break. And eventually work became pretty chill. As long as one of the managers wasn't in for our shift, everything was just super chill. Your feet hurt like a motherfucker, but the managers wouldn't bitch at you if you decide to hide in the changing room and sit down for a little bit. So after I worked there for like a little bit, I would say maybe like a couple of months in, there was an announcement. Oh, hey, a new girl has come into the office. I was like, girl, I like those. I like women, right? And so eventually when this girl started to like show up to the office to like get onboarding, get training and whatnot, we all finally met her in the main area in the back where like all the employees gather to do like a huddle before they go out there and do sales and whatever. Felt like a cult, honestly. I'm not gonna say her name for doxing purposes. I hope you guys understand. But she was a baddie, dude. She was so fine. She is so beautiful. And so, let me just illustrate to you what I saw. A 5 foot. I mean, that's pretty much all you guys need to know, right? It is a baddie that's 5 foot. Holy shit. That's the dream. A tall, muscular guy, such as myself, meeting up with a 5 foot baddie with an attitude. Ooh. 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 Sheesh. That. It was like love at first sight. I was like, damn. She is fine. Well, I didn't really, and then you know what I did with that information? I was like, man, she is so pretty. She is so fine. She just grabbed my heart and she has an absolute lock on it. What should I do to get her attention? Oh, I know. Let's not talk to her. Oh, let's not talk to her, right? That's what I did for another couple of months. And then I don't know what happened, but we start talking. And I'm assuming that it was probably just a little bit of, small talk. Hey, how was your day? Did you have a good weekend? Did you have this, have that? Like, what's up? Right? And then so a couple of weeks go by and we ended up talking a little bit about this Korean barbecue restaurant that's like in the city that we live in. And I told her about this place that was kind of like low key. And she came back one day during a shift that we shared together. And she was like, oh, hey, I went to that Korean barbecue place that you went to. And then I was like, oh, really? How was it? And we started talking from there. And eventually, I'm starting to feel myself a little bit. And from there, it was around my birthday. And I got her number, not by asking her, but because there was the wall in the break room that everybody's phone number is just out there to see, only for the reason that if you wanted to like swap shifts with somebody, you didn't have to complain to the managers to set that up. You could just text your coworker and say, yo, can you pick up my shift? Or yo, do you want to swap shifts with me? So I got her phone number off of that. And then, I started texting being like, yo, what's up? Oh, disclaimer. Okay. I did not grab her phone number just for the sole purpose of trying to flirt with her. I needed her phone number, first of all, because I needed to clarify why I didn't show up to work one day. Then at that point forward, I was like, well, I have your number. I might as well start texting you. And the other manager told me that if I had a problem, I should just go text her instead. That's what it was. That's what it was. Ow. Fuck. Right? And so we start talking. And now we reached a point where it's my birthday. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't got anything to lose. So I'm talking to her. And at this point, she is in Vegas. Hanging out with friends. Doing fun shit. Okay? And God, dude, I sound like such a fucking asshole for this. Never do this, by the way. Never ever do this. Never. Oh, I'm about to tell you guys something. Never ever do this. Never. Okay? She told me, hey, my boyfriend broke up with me. And God, dude, I am so fucked up for this. I am so beyond fucked up for this. I saw that text, and you know what I did? Hey, girl, let's meet up. I'll help you feel better. Oh my God, dude. Never do that. Never ever do that. I don't care if you are the sexiest man alive, if you have the smoothest voice of all time. I don't care. You never do that. Please, never ever do that. For the love of God, never ever do that. But anyway, we actually end up making plans. So, in order for me to meet up with her at night, because she was gonna come back to town at night. I lied to my parents and said, "Oh, I'm gonna go hang out at a friend's place because they want to celebrate my birthday." And they believed me, so I went. And I went to the airport. I picked her up. I bought her chicken, and I bought her 2 bottles of soju, strawberry and peach soju. We picked up her friend too, dropped her off at home, and then we drove all the way back to her place. And she lived in kind of a trashy neighborhood. I'm not gonna lie, I was swear on God, honest to God, I was scared that if I spent the night, I would wake up and my car would be boosted. Like just gone. Like the tires would be missing, the window would be smashed. Like I was genuinely afraid of that shit happening. Genuinely. Because the neighborhood was so bad. Okay? And so when I did that, well, when we arrived at her place, I was like, calm down. You got this. We had the chicken, we drank a bit. She drank a little bit more than me because I was still on the fence. I didn't know whether or not I wanted to stay the night. So I was like, okay, well, if I'm not going to commit to like spending the night, I'm not going to drink super heavy because I'm not trying to kill somebody on my drive back home, right? Because spoiler alert, guys, don't drink and drive. I'd rather just stay up and like, God, this sounds so bad too. My other plan was to, all right, if I'm like tipsy, I will just stay awake for the next 6 hours and then leave at like 4 in the morning without saying anything. Can you guys imagine how awkward that would be when we show up to work and we see each other again? Where she's like, where did you go? And I'm like, I had homework or whatever. But anyway, we started talking for a bit. And this is where I get the fucking lore drop. The lore drop of all time. She tells me that that the ex-boyfriend that broke up with her when she was in Vegas is not only a drug dealer, but a gang member as well. And I was so itchy to get in her pants that when I heard that, I was like, nah, don't worry about it. It's not like he's gonna come after me. And even if he does, don't worry. I'll fight him. God, dude, I wish I could go back and just bitch slap myself and be like, with what, bro? Fight him with what? Your words? Words are powerful, but I don't think they're nearly as powerful as a gun. Okay? Holy shit. And this is where everything goes to shit. Because she takes the initiative away from me and she's like, all right, let's go to sleep. And I'm kind of a pussy. So I was scared to get in bed with her, like under the sheets and shit. But eventually I do. And then I don't know, like it was kind of a blur. We start making out. Right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting there. You know, I'm just having fun. You know what? Don't overthink anything. Don't be scared about the fact that her ex-boyfriend, drug dealer, gang affiliated ex-boyfriend is going to, I don't know, pull up to you one day and just, you know, send you to Jesus. Just enjoy the moment. And I did. Until she pulled my pants down. And no, she didn't say that I had a small ween. I said it. I did. Because she wanted some action. Because looking back, I was most definitely a rebound. But after that, I was so insecure that while we were laughing together, I was like, oh no, I don't think it's gonna work. And she's like, what, why? I'm like, it's too small. And I remember her looking at it in darkness and saying, "This is enough." And then she was about to, go the full 9 yards. And then, you know what I said? "Oh, but I don't have a condom." I am literally my own worst enemy. This is something that I've been trying to deal with for such a long time. I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter what I'm dealing with. It could be like pursuing my dreams, or it could be me trying to hook up with a girl, right? When the opportunity presents itself, I just have this reaction in my head where I will do everything in my power to just stop myself from getting it. Because I will admit, when I was driving to pick her up from the airport, I literally told myself, "Oh, you should probably go buy a condom." But then the other part of me was like, "Nah, I think you're just gonna go pick her up, go to her place, drink and have chicken, and just hang out. Just hang out like friends." Bro, it's the real world. Okay? When you go to a lady's home with food and alcohol in hand, everybody knows what's gonna happen. I knew that, and I still didn't go for it. That is crazy work by me. That is crazy work. So I'm getting distracted. She ended up just like grinding on me. Like, we didn't actually go the full 9 yards. And yeah. We did other stuff that I'm not gonna go into detail. It's not crazy, but I woke up the next day with like 30 minutes of sleep, and she had work the next day. I drove her to work, and she was so tired that she ended up clocking into work, working for half an hour, taking an Uber back home, and then texting me, "Lamau, I went back home." And then after that, I mean, there's not really much to talk about. I never got into contact with the ex-boyfriend, but the scariest moment in the aftermath was that at like 5 a.m. Oh yeah, did I also mention that she's a single mom of 2 kids? Yeah, I am ashamed. I am straight up ashamed. I am straight up motherfucking ashamed. Never do what I did, kids. Never do what I did. Okay? Stay in school, read the Bible, and tell your mom you love them or something. But don't do what I do. If there's one thing you guys need to know about me, is that when you guys watch my stream, if I tell stories like this, the only reason why I'm telling these stories is to embarrass myself so that you guys don't repeat my mistakes. Never do what I did. Holy shit. Okay? But she ended up texting me at like 5 a.m, and I was awake at that time for God knows why. And she texted me saying, "Oh, so my ex-boyfriend got a hold of my phone, and he probably wrote down your number, so he might contact you." And I was like, "Holy shit. You're telling me that a drug dealing, gang affiliated," this wasn't a small gang in my area, but by the way, this was like a known gang. And this gang was, honest to God, it's kind of fucked up on what they do to people they don't like. Like, holy shit. So, right? I was like, fuck this. I can't take it anymore. I couldn't even get any action because I was my own worst enemy. So I literally, a couple of weeks later, I called work over the phone at 5 a.m, and I said, "Hey, something came up. I gotta quit." And I quit. And I never saw her again. I did check on Instagram her account, And she's with the new guy. And you know what? Good for her. Good for her. She's doing her thing. I'm doing my thing. Streaming to 0 people. But you know what? I'm starting something that I care about. And I'm gonna do my own thing. So if there's anything you guys need to learn from this story, it is one, don't shit where you eat. If you go to work to work, make that bank and use that bank to get girls outside of work, or guys, or moms, or dads. I don't know, but don't shit where you eat, because you never know. You might just end up getting your information leaked to a gang affiliated drug dealer. All right.